Facing your eyes on Pat Boost.
The woke Claressa Shields.
And it's Khadijah, the princess of the streets. And we are stepping into the shade room. Yeah, y'all love us?
This year's VMAs were about more than simply music. They became the backdrop for a conflict that no one anticipated. Forget the glamour, the flash, and the smiles on the red carpet. A startling fight that transformed the largest music event in the world into a battleground was what truly rocked the evening. You heard correctly. The leaked tape shows Remy Ma brutally attacking Claressa Shields backstage. Let's imagine. The camera continues to flash, celebrities are enjoying champagne, and anarchy is breaking out behind the curtains only a few feet away. One shaky video that is currently making the rounds on social media shows security scurrying, an assistant yelling, and Remy M lunging forward with an intensity that would make a UFC fighter blush. Maintaining her composure, Claressa Shields raises her hands as the room devolves into chaos. The worst part, though, is this. What caused this altercation? Was it a startling secret, treachery, or jealousy? Was it never intended for the VMAs to disclose? With hashtags like Remy versus Claressa and Mao Fight Night breaking the internet, fans are already analyzing every hazy moment of the released video. Be prepared, viewers. This isn't your typical celebrity feud. Hip-hop history is being torn apart in real time. The purpose of the VMAs is to be glamorous. Flashing lights, red carpets, and awkward celebrity interviews in which they act as though they like one another. The VMAs this year, however, resembled a Love and Hip Hop episode shot inside a boxing ring. And Remy Ma and Claressa Shields are at the heart of this mayhem. One man caught in the crossfire of two worlds colliding. Two strong ladies. Papoose. Let's clarify this. Drama is something Remy Ma is new to. Lyrical and personal struggles have formed the foundation of her career. From her infamous prison term to her rap feuds with Nicki Minaj, she's always worn controversy as a badge of honor. And then there's boxing's self-described gwot, Claressa Shields. She's accustomed to battling in the ring and to having cameras flash as she delivers jaw-breaking blows. Thus, it was only a question of time until sparks erupted into a fire when these two forces collided at the VMAs. Innocently enough, the night started. Celebrities showed up wearing expensive gowns that were more expensive than the rent for most people. DOA walked in wearing what appeared to be a hybrid of a disco ball and a spacesuit, while Cardi B almost stumbled on the red carpet but pretended it was a TikTok challenge. Nicki Minaj gave her a sidelong glance from under her shades. Up until Claressa Shields entered the carpet with Papoose on her arm, everything was typical VMA behavior. For the sake of those in the rear, let me reiterate that. Papoose, the man who established his reputation as the most devoted husband in hip-hop. One time, the man who made news for supporting Remy Ma during her jail term appeared in interviews and preached loyalty as if it were his own religion. Beside Claressa Shields, the same man was now grinning for the cameras while she adjusted his bow tie and spoke in his ear. Social media collapsed. Immediately, fans began tweeting, "Wait, isn't Papoose married? This can't be real. Is this a publicity stunt?" And finally, the most scathing one, from a Remy fan. "This is the reward she receives for holding you down for years." Before the program had started, hashtags like Remy deserves better and Mo Papoose. Betrayal was trending. Afterward, the performance was presented. Spitting his lines as if nothing were wrong, Papoose joined Busta Rhymes for a medley tribute. Everyone applauded. Claressa excited him starting with the front row, cheering as if she were at a championship bout. There should have been an end to it. But no, since Claressa Shields had more ambitious intentions. Before the event, Claressa reportedly warned her team, "When I step on that stage, I'm claiming him. No turning back." According to Backstage rumors, she kept her word and grabbed the microphone during a transition to reveal the shocking information. "I have this man right here." The room went cold, cameras panned. Taylor Swift even paused her phony applause long enough to notice the commotion. The VMAs were turned upside down in just one moment. Claressa wasn't only claiming Papoose as her own. In front of millions, she was degrading Remy Ma. And Remy heard it backstage. One unnamed source, who claimed to have been a stage worker before selling his story to a gossip blog, claims that Remy lost it. On stage, she just claimed my spouse. She reportedly yelled, "No, this is over now," and rushed to the dressing rooms. This is the point at which the leaked video becomes relevant. Remy is shown pacing like a lion in a cage in a blurry, unsteady video shot on what appears to be a broken iPhone. She pushes past her entourage yelling, "She's not going to disrespect me in public," despite their attempts to calm her. Claressa and Papoose then emerge in the corridor. Smirking and obviously proud of herself, she is adjusting her clothing. The onslaught starts as soon as Remy notices them. "You think this is a game?" Remy yells as he leaps forward and Claressa, unfazed, lashes back. The corridor is filled with the sound of turmoil as someone says, "He's mine now! Deal with it!" The screaming of the assistants. The world star and security are running into the shot while someone is shouting. Even though the video ends, it's enough to ignite the internet. At once, Twitter was on fire. Within minutes, Remy versus Claressa was at the top of the trending list. Like the Zapruder movie, fans broke down the video frame by frame. To emphasize, Remy's clenched fists, one slowed it down. Another person said that they could hear Cardi B shouting, "Not tonight, sis." The memes appeared before MTV had a chance to remove the comments. In one widely shared clip, the fight was even transformed into a Mortal Kombat bout, replete with visuals. The worst part, though, is this. Some supporters weren't even angry. A surprisingly high number sided with Claressa. 50,000 people liked one tweet. Remy's time came. Claressa simply locked the man in the suitcase. Someone else said, "This isn't betrayal. This is Black Love 2.0. Meanwhile, Remy's supporters fought back, calling Claressa an opportunist and branding Papoose the clown of the century. Even celebrities couldn't resist chiming in. Nicki Minaj, never one to waste a chance at shade, allegedly, whispered to her stylist, "Let them destroy each other." The queen stays untouched. Cardi B, on the other hand, was caught in the leaked video shouting encouragement at Remy before realizing cameras were rolling and quickly pretending to fix her nails. And Dojat, she was seen laughing so hard in the background, she nearly spilled her drink. Through it all, Papoose stood there smirking like a man who just sold tickets to his own downfall. Fans were furious. One wrote, "This man looked as if he were having fun, didn't even attempt to stop them." Furthermore, Papoose went from loyalty king to hip-hop's biggest clown in one night. But the real question is this: was this spontaneous chaos, or was it all planned? Rumors began to circulate that Claressa and Papoose had been messaging for weeks in order to organize the exposé. According to one purported message, "When you claim me, don't stop if she shows up. I want the world to see." If accurate, this didn't only happen for show. This was deliberate humiliation, and the internet was unable to turn away for that reason alone. Because it wasn't simply a quarrel, this was betrayal transformed into amusement. Loyalty became a joke. Additionally, one of the most well-respected couples in hip-hop was split up in public. Drama's opening blow. The knockdown happened backstage, but it might have happened when Claressa's shields claimed Papoose on stage, because it was more than simply a brawl that took place behind those glistening curtains. Every broken iPhone and unsteady live stream in the building captured the full-scale meltdown. The stolen video, which quickly went viral on Twitter, just touched the tip of the iceberg. Yes, we did witness Remy Ma running down the hallway while the assistant screamed and the security guard panicked, but that was only the first act. So, chaos reigned there. Soon, several sides emerged. One from a stagehand who was huddled behind a lighting apparatus. Another from a stylist who said she was only filming the hair of a DOA cat. The identical item was seen in both clips. Like she was in the midst of a rap fight, Remy rushed toward Claressa. This time, however, there were only fists and rage instead of lyrics. Claressa, towering and tall, didn't flinch in her glistening gown. Over the confusion, she spoke louder. "Remy, you lost him. Be open to it." The hallway was rocked by that line. The lunge followed. To demonstrate that Remy swung first, fans slowed down the video bit by bit. The precise instant her hand shot forward was the subject of a Twitter thread that received over 100,000 likes. However, Claressa wasn't giving up, even though another tape said you could hear Papoose muttering, "Not here, not now." The corridor exploded like a stadium as witnesses claimed she pushed Remy away while shouting, "I fight for a living. You don't want this smoke." In real time, social media blew up. Twitter saw the rise of hashtags such as Remy versus Claressa, VMA Fight Night, and the vicious Averger Papoo ain't worth it. One person commented, "Cardi and Nicki got into a fight with Taylor Swift is watching all this while sipping champagne. Legendary." Another person wrote, "Yet Remy and Claressa brought the entire arena down." The memes went viral right away. The blurry video clip was morphed into a Street Fighter game screen, with the health bars for Remy and Claressa at the top. Claressa's "You lost him" was transformed into a phony WWE promotional poster by another. Fans remixing the fight into viral dance trends caused chaos even on TikTok. Fans were not the only ones stirring things up, though. The drama was witnessed by celebrities in close proximity, and they were unable to control their reactions. One witness claims that Cardi B was yelling, "Get her, Remy," before realizing that her voice might be being recorded by MTV cameras. As if nothing had happened, she immediately changed gears and fixed her nails. Nicki Minaj is said to have muttered, "The Queen," while leaning into her stylist's ear. "Doesn't fight," she observes. Just that one sentence went viral, in addition to Doat. Laughing uncontrollably, she was seen in the corner of the released video almost spilling her drink while yelling, "World Star." However, Papoose' own response was possibly the most startling. Witnesses said that instead of intervening in the altercation, he smirked like a man watching pay-per-view while standing back with his arms crossed. One commenter wrote, "This man really let two women burn his legacy to the ground while he smiled." Another added, "Papoose went from loyalty king to hip-hop's Joker in 10 minutes. Next came the leaks that turned the scandal from messy to disastrous. One Instagram Live showed him smiling as fans yelled, "Do something!" Screenshots of purported text chats between Claressa and Papoose discussing an expose came to light. One of the lines was, "I want the world to see you claim me, so don't stop if she appears." "This is larger than us," another person stated. "It's been there before." Were they real? Probably not. Did fans care? Absolutely not. To them, it was proof that Remy's humiliation had been scripted from the start. And as if leaked texts weren't enough, audio recordings began circulating. One particularly grainy clip, supposedly recorded right after the altercation, captured Remy shouting at Papoose, "You humiliated me after everything I did for you." To which Papoose allegedly replied, "You are never supposed to find out like this." Fans furiously discussed the meaning of that one sentence, which went viral online. Was Papoose confessing to a hidden affair? Was this evidence that Claressa and Papoose had been plotting for months or perhaps years? Or was it just the biggest night in music was derailed by a fistfight between a love triangle, but fans weren't complaining? If anything, they were enjoying it. Reaction videos flooded YouTube, TikTok edits received millions of views, and a popular podcast released a 2-hour special that broke down every frame of the fight. Whatever the truth, the damage was done. Remy's anger appeared justified, Claressa looked victorious, and Papoose looked like the ultimate villain. Meanwhile, MTV producers were reportedly in panic mode, and we had to cut away from performances because the shouting was gushing onto the live feed. The internet was divided into two camps that night: Team Remy, who called her a scorned queen for defending her pride, and Team Claressa, who praised her for boldly claiming what she wanted. Papoose, on the other hand, had no team. No one stood up for him, and even memes turned savage, showing him photoshopped holding a WWE belt with the caption, "Grand Prize." You lose all respect when two women fight over you. And here's the thing, this was no longer just gossip. Lawyers were reportedly watching. One anonymous legal analyst on TikTok claimed that Remy might be charged if Claressa chose to press assault. Claims, while another said that MTV might ban her from future events. Claressa's camp, however, was reportedly receiving offers. The biggest question, however, persisted in every comment section. Was this fight real, or was it a publicity stunt, staged to make the VMAs relevant again? After all, the ratings had been declining for years, and all of a sudden, there was a fight so messy, so viral, that the entire world couldn't stop talking about it. Was it a coincidence or a strategy? Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. The VMAs weren't remembered for the performances, but rather for the fight, the betrayal, and the leaked footage that turned hip-hop royalty into tabloid fodder. The VMAs ended on paper, but in reality, the night never stopped burning. And by the following morning, gossip blogs weren't talking about performances, awards, or even the red carpet looks. The first tremor came when the purported audio recording spread like wildfire, with Remy yelling, "You humiliated me," and Papoose responding, "You are never supposed to find out like this." The fallout also included the vicious backstage altercation between Remy Ma and Claressa Shields, as well as the leaked footage that left no room for denials. The betrayal narrative consumed him, but it was only the appetizer. The real entree. was legal trouble, and anonymous lawyers on TikTok wasted no time in predicting lawsuits. One lawyer claimed that if Claressa files assault charges, Remy could face jail time again. That line wasn't just a soundbite, it was the crack in the dam. Within hours, fans demanded answers. Did this mean Papoose had been moving covertly with Ma Marie, Claressa, for months or years? Was the devoted husband merely a front? Remy Ma's career was on the line after the VMA attack, and even the tabloids ran with it, warning that MTV might ban her from future shows for creating a dangerous environment. Rumors of a blacklist intensified, with one insider claiming that booking agents had discreetly removed Remy from festival lineups, and another leaking that a major fashion brand had dropped her from an upcoming campaign, citing behavior inconsistent with company values. Translation: Remy was too messy to sell handbags, while Claressa was allegedly enjoying offers. Reality show producers, sensing blood in the water, even pitched her spin-offs. One rumored title, Shields Up, even claimed a TMZ piece that claimed she was fielding sponsorship deals from energy drinks to designer collaborations, while Claressa was stacking bags. Papoose was merciless online, with Twitter calling him the hip-hop clown and memes depicting him holding a WWE belt. The man who once stood for love and perseverance was reduced to a punchline. But the humiliation didn't end there. Industry veterans reportedly weren't happy. According to some insiders, executives were incensed that Papoose's mess overshadowed the Busta Rhymes tribute performance. One producer allegedly snapped, "It was a bust at night, not Papoose's soap opera," labeled grand prize. Two women fighting while you lose respect. Old interviews in which he preached loyalty were resurfaced. Imagine putting in decades of effort to be recognized, only to have headlines proclaim, "Backstage fight over Papoose." Then the most ridiculous allegation yet surfaced. Law enforcement was allegedly examining the video to ascertain whether Remy had committed assault, according to a gossip blog. According to an anonymous officer, just because it's the VMAs doesn't mean that celebrities get away with it. Was it true? Probably not. But the story stuck. Fans debated whether Remy could end up back behind bars. Financially, the storm was brutal. Sources whispered Remy could lose millions in potential endorsements. Meanwhile, Claressa allegedly inked new deals within 48 hours of the scandal. The internet summed it up perfectly. Remy lost the man and the bag. Claressa gained both. Celebrities piled on. Cardi B went live, hinting, "Some people think they're untouchable until receipts pop out." Supporters believed she was disparaging Remy. Nicki Minaj retweeted a shady post about women who think they're irreplaceable with a laughing emoji, and Dote posted a meme of boxing gloves with the caption, "Mood subtle? In no way." The producer of the VMA hurried to contain the damage. MTV executives reportedly met in an emergency the following morning, with some calling for the three, Remy, Claressa, and Papoose, to be barred from any future shows, while others contended that the controversy had given the VMAs greater prominence than they had in years. One executive reportedly joked, "If it keeps us trending, let them fight every year." Corporate greed at its best. By the third day, the incident had evolved from a gossip dispute to a cultural controversy, with think pieces all over the internet. One headline said, "Claressa versus Remy, empowerment or embarrassment?" Another person inquired, "Did the VMAs demonstrate that hip-hop allegiance is extinct?" Hours were spent on podcasts analyzing the triangle. Twitter threads evolved into essays. TikTok edits garnered millions of views, and then the last leaked video appeared. Grainy but sufficiently clear, it showed Claressa grinning at the camera during the altercation and stating, "I'm the one he's with, but she can be angry." The VMAs were supposed to be about music, but instead they turned into a cultural car crash we can't ignore. The lights are off, the stage is cleared, but the smoke is still there. Remy Ma is angry, humiliated, and possibly facing legal and financial ruin. Claressa Shields is opportunistic and triumphant and was crowned the new Queen of Chaos. Papoose, stripped of his loyalty king crown, is remembered as the man who let two women torch an award show over him. This is the new Beyoncé elevator moment. Hasn't settled, and perhaps never will, because scandals like this don't go away quietly. They reverberate, they grow, and they leave scars deeper than any award show performance could ever have. Let's face it, viewers, what we just saw wasn't an award show. It was a demolition. The VMAs turned into a battlefield, and reputations were the casualties. Remy Ma attacked Claressa Shields backstage, as evidenced by the leaked footage. Papoose grinned as if he was amused. Loyalty, respect, and marriage were all destroyed in one scandal that the industry will never forget. But now it's your turn to judge. Was Remy a scorned queen defending her throne? Or did she cross the line and lose everything? Was Claressa a fearless fighter claiming what she wanted? Or was she just messy enough to think about it? Did she risk her entire reputation for power and Papoose' mastermind pulling the strings? Or the biggest idiot in hip-hop history? The leaked footage showed the death of hip-hop royalty as we know it, with the couple that once stood for strength disintegrating in front of millions of people. Now, the debate is about who won Papoose, not who won Best Performance, because one thing is clear: this isn't the end. The next leak, the next scandal, the next betrayal, it's already brewing. Hit like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because for the next story, I promise you, you won't believe what's leaking next.